The lady who's sitting here in the front row, her name is Mira Kelley. And guess where she's from? The land of Bulgaria. Was born there. When she was 18 years of age, she decided to leave her mom and her sister and her father and come to America. Spoke almost no English, just very broken English. Got entered at a university in Connecticut. Bridgeport, went from there to NYU, graduated from there, taught herself English, went to Syracuse University, their law school, finished her law training, passed the New York bar the first time that she took it, practiced corporate law for 6 years, and she had written me a letter, also from the land of Bulgaria, telling me that she had something to offer me in the way of healing, in the way of a past life regression. And now I get letters from weirdos all over the world. And I mean weirdos in the nicest way, in the not judgmental way. And she, in this beautiful letter that she wrote, she somehow found my address, which I didn't think was easy to do, and it isn't. And this letter came and it sat on my desk, and I just couldn't file it with all of the other letters that I get, which is impossible for me to answer because they number in the thousands. And but the letter was always there, and the reading of it, the wording of it, whatever it was. And she wanted to come to Maui from New York. This was a corporate lawyer who was very, very successful, doing very, very well, and said that she would pay her own expenses and she would come here. It was important because she felt that I was someone whose demise would be something that was not in harmony with what God's plan was, and that she just wanted to do this for me and was willing to pay for it herself. I got on the phone with her. I said, I don't know, I was sure, but and then she said, just give me the date and give me the time. And then so that was, I don't know, February, was it? Or was it February? And in February, I said, well, I'm going to be here the week of April 15th. And that week I'm not traveling, and I have to travel after that. And she said, I'll be there. Tell me what day. I said, well, I was just trying to be nice, but not, I said, well, it's that week. She said, all right, I'll be there that week. And that week arrived, that Monday morning arrived, and she called. And I go, oh, no, now I got to do this? Oh. My daughter was there. Serena was still there with me. And I said, I was trying to talk her out of it, but she had flown all the way from New York at her own expense to do this for me, just out of the goodness of her heart. Her letter was so beautifully written. And I said, well, the only time I have is like Thursday at maybe 10 o'clock. I could give you maybe an hour at the most. She said, I'll be there. And I said, well, do you need instructions? She said, no, I'll find it. And 10 o'clock on Thursday morning, she knocked on the door. And she came and did a past life regression with me that changed everything in my life. She brought Anita Morjani to me. She found that information on the internet, gave it to me. Anita was now in my life. John of God experience was happening at exactly the same moments, a week later, I believe. So this is a week before. So she came in. Serena immediately liked her, and I liked her because she looked awful good, and she just sounded so smart. And she took me over to my office, and we set up the whole thing. She recorded it and did this past life regression, which is not really a past life at all. It's a parallel life. And in the process, I reproduced a big part of that at the end, very end chapters of Wishes Fulfilled. And I went back, and what happened is I became this being. And I became this old man. I went through this various lifetime things, and it was so real. I mean, I've had 2 or 3 of these past life regressions. Brian Weiss is a very good friend of mine. We've appeared on programs, Many Lives, Many Masters. I love the man. She had studied with him and has now gone way beyond him. And She teaches past life regression and does it from a point of view of it's more than just healing. It's a way to really connect with the highest self that you are and what your mission and dharma are, and you can find it. So I did this whole thing. When I came out of it, it was 3 hours. And when I come out of it, I had been in this trance. And I had the most amazing feeling of love that it transcended even what I'm speaking about with John of God the following week. And then we got to talking, and I saw this picture of Peter Durnoff. And that is I looked at that picture and I just almost collapsed, because that's exactly who I was. In that cave, called the Cave of Lights, which is what the magic presence is all about, living in this place, this cave of light, the light. And I kept saying during the past life regression in this trance that I was in with her, that the light is so bright. It's just so bright, it's just blinding. I can't, it actually blinded, it hurts so much. And I was trying to convince my son, who was a man in his 50s or 60s or something, that he had to step into this light and get the revenge and the hatred out of him and so on. And that picture, this why I want to show you this picture again. This picture, and all of the pictures in here, every time I look at this, I realize that's who I was. And his life overlaps mine by 4 years. So it can't be a past life, can it? It's a parallel life. And it's what I talked about when I opened here yesterday. When your attention goes to a place of higher awareness, that whoever it is that you are placing your attention on, the great spirit that they are, will become you, and you will become it. So Mira went back to New York, practicing law, very successful, doing very well, and decided to leave her practice because when she was a little girl in Bulgaria, in a communist country, she had a knowing. And rather than me tell you about it, because if you ever get a chance to do a session with this woman, it was so incredibly life-changing for me. What that experience was like, if there's ever anything in you that you feel you really want to get in touch with, this is what she's going to do. She is writing a book for Hay House on past life regression. And I thought, and she doesn't even know I'm going to do this, I would ask her to just come up and just tell you a little bit about how she got involved in this as a young girl and what it is that she does and why she wrote to me. And her name is Mira Passlieva.
Hello, everyone. I had my very first regression when I was 13 years old. I actually regressed myself. And it was a very vivid and very powerful experience, the type of experience you cannot deny and tell that it's something that you imagined. And I really was very fortunate to discover what I'm passionate about and what I love doing and what I'm looking to do with myself very early in life. And when I wrote to Wayne, I was looking to offer to him this type of healing. Because during the regressions that I do with people, I allow them to connect to their higher self. I guide them into that place where they really are able to transform and transcend where they are, and where real physical healing could take place. So that's what I was thinking when I wrote to him. I was thinking maybe a healing could take place for him. And I guess it was part of a perfect storm for him. So that's what I do, and I'm very grateful you allowed me to share with everyone how much I love doing what I do.